Hi, welcome back to Braveheart. And today I'm going to keep going through the book. I'm halfway through. Uh, yep, I'm almost done with the book. Halfway, I'm on chapter 10 or part 10. And this is going to talk about how use new media but cautiously. So basically, that using media is good, but we should be doing it with caution. We shouldn't just use it however we want. We should use it as a cautionary thing, whatever technology it is. So, certain ideas about the world are embedded in our tools of communication. So, certain ideas about the world are embedded in our communication. So, television as a tool is basically television is a tool to deliver entertainment rather than information. So television it's just for entertainment, and it's not for information. So if you want good information, then you should go to people and find it a better way than just going through television all the time. Because that can reshape your mind and society. So by always getting information from television, that is a way that you can be reshaped. That's a way that can reshape your mind in society. So let's see. So ask what media development has most changed the landscape. So basically online videos. So what technology has changed the most for online videos or making online videos? So anyone who doubts that the internet based video has edged out not only books but even television. Just need to talk to a young person. So online videos is what young people are in and what always want to watch, I guess. So just talking about so you might say the same for older platforms and competing social media scrolling video platforms like Instagram and Facebook. So we have to notice that television in time was the master medium in control of all others, in that it was inherently focused on show business to the extent it trained viewers to accept everything to be a show. So that's now largely true of media. Yet internet video has in important ways taken us beyond mere entertainment. So let's start with the most obvious difference. So while TV and the screens on which we view internet videos bear a superficial resemblance, the internet and social media social media algorithms have made video content much shorter and more disjointed. So criticism of television was that it prized bit-sized clips and constant stimulation through variety, action, and movement. So the examples of this is like NewsHour. So seem sedate and in-depth by today's standards, an hour-long program on one subject. So the most successful videos on TikTok last between 21 and 34 seconds. Dang, that's really fast. 21 and 34 seconds. So the very name of today's most popular video sharing app indulges to the sound of a clock all the time. So that said, forever changed human life by descending up our days into mechanically units and disconnecting us from eternity. So basically, just all those videos are disconnecting us from eternity. All those videos, all the internet is basically disconnecting us from God. Instead of being connected to God, the internet is disconnecting us from God. So let's see. So much thinking could be visually on screen because complexity and nuance are excluded by the nature of the medium. So visual stimulation often subsides entirely for thought. So visual stimulation is just for thought. So experts tell us that the average person takes 10 to 15 seconds simply to process a new piece of information. So your brain only takes 10 to 15 seconds to process a new piece of information. That's all it takes for your brain to do it, is seconds. It takes far longer to consider a response. So that's true. So it takes seconds for us to process information, but it takes a lot longer to respond to it. So by the time a new video is up, we watch the next. So such in trivials, something mean, is literally incapable of doing anything with the information presented in this format. So the information or those videos are going so fast, or because they're seconds, so there's no way to even present a response in that format because it happens in seconds. So we experience it more with our reflexes than with our minds. So we experience those things more with our reflexes, but than our minds. So consider that each fleeting clip is largely irrelevant to the clip that preceded it, and over and over again, basically. So this rhythm that provided television and trivialized the world. So newscasters and showrunners were still consciously making decisions about what came on next. But these days, there is no human agency involved with the flow of content we consume. So think about all the content you consume is basically, there's not even humans anymore. It's all AI, it's all technology. So everything you consume is basically just by a machine, not a person. Every video you watch, everything you do is basically involves no human. Instead, a computer, as I said, a computer decides it for you. So instead of you deciding the flow of the content you consume, the computer decides what you will see at the next flick of a finger based on what it calculates while you're scrolling. So everything you're scrolling, the computer is calculating it. So the computer decides what you want to watch. You don't decide what you want to watch. The computer is deciding that for you because it's taking all the information that you're scrolling and everything that you keep watching. So what you see on your phone is not what you see. So what you see on your phone is not what I see on mine. So the things that you see on your phone is not what you're going to see on my phone because the scrolling is different and it changes. So feeds are optimized to suck us in. So that machine is made to suck you in as an individual. So the internet videos have unvisualized the screen's tendency to turn everyone who appears on it into an entertainer. So you're an entertainer. I'm an entertainer because the internet has made it that way for most people. Now everybody can be an entertainer through the internet. Let's see. So the impressions of something or attractiveness subsides for genuine credibility. So, but at least people who appear on television have to submit a resume. Anyone can record and post content to a video with apps and potentially make millions of views. So people on TV, like a news anchor, of course, has to do a resume. But nowadays, anybody can record a video and make millions of views. So unlike the television, the influencer online can cast a camera and produce and publish results on average in lower quality and more superficial content than relies on gimmicks over substance. So it's about gimmicks, it's not about substance. So maybe that's how I can get millions of views, is maybe I should just do gimmicks and not do substance. Let's see. So video platforms like YouTube are distorting parade of users pulling cartoonish faces, basically just saying all those dumb things, displaying captions simply to stand out from the crowd. So videos longer than 10 minutes often feature a TikTok-length teaser for an upcoming highlight. So given the limitations, content creators and consumers really distinguish between what is true and what will inform or edify versus what will get clicks, views, and shares. So from entertainment to distraction. So all this means that videos on the internet have a large transcend category of entertainment and aims instead at something more primal or aims at trivial things like distractions. So an hour on TikTok trains our brains and bodies to accept constant stimulation. So preferred medium of the printed word simply cannot deliver, in which even television often subreddits to production value. So the result of that is training our life and our nervous systems. Let's see. So everything has changed. So as a society, we have replaced the demand for entertainment with an appetite for distraction. And nowhere do we see this trend more clearly than the videos online. So some mediums are better. So media isn't all bad. I mean, yes, some online videos aren't that great, and some platforms aren't that great, but not all platforms, not all media is bad. Some are good and more better than others. So the culture of this time makes it difficult to mine his work for insights or solutions to today's video-based culture. So we can treat television as a medium with little to recommend it other than its ability to amuse. So television is only recommended for amusement. Television, that's all it's made for, is to amuse us. Television is to amuse us, to make us laugh, to make us whatever. So even television is at the most dangerous when its aspirations are high, when it seeks to spiritually something in something or inform. So let's see. Let's see. So it's just saying that print-based culture and the basically minds of the print-based were preferably to a television culture. Yet he cautions against amusing we know everything and argue readers to keep an open mind about what benefits may come from other distractions. Oh, my neck. Ow. Oh, man. So we can learn some things from this sentence that some mediums of communication are better than others. So some are better than others. It all depends. So technologies are better or worse at approximating that idea. And if we can get worse at communication over time, why can't we get better? So what is the solution to distraction problem? So just like Moses commanded against grieving images, not only forbears something. I don't know. So basically saying that people are trained in abstract universal thinking by attending to the written scriptures is well taken. We are made by the word for the word. There is no negotiation to the medium through which God has chosen to reveal himself. So writing is special. The view resonates with evangelical Protestants, I think, holding us as we do to the Reformation principle of sola scriptura. Let's see. So our desires point somewhere. So our eyes were made for more than reading. We have color vision. So our eyes have color vision. And our brains we have brains to process what we see. So that is the very reason television and internet video are mediums so appealing. We enjoy watching them because they show us the world, and we are made to enjoy watching the world. So we can draw some facts from that. And the first one is our desires point somewhere. So the first thing is the reason internet's the P word, the PRO, for instance, has become addictive to millions of people, were designed to enjoy the sight of a person. So basically just saying like the internet is made to have that desire be shown to us, the POR, to show us trivial things and stuff like that. So those desires, or those SE desires in itself, is bad. Or people may think that those desires are bad because some people watch the POR. So we are made to see in community. So think of the strange phenomenon of, I don't know what that is, I don't know. Never heard it. I don't even know what that phenomenon is. Stitched, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's something online. I never heard of it. Stitched. So I guess videos on Instagram that split in already tiny screen between the focal video. I don't know. And the second video showing a user reacting to the first video. Never heard of that. What is the point of this odd ritual? I don't know. So to have a friend beside you sharing your amazement or laughter. So the reason such videos trigger a dopamine is that they appeal to instincts and purposes in which predent videos, smartphones, or even writing. So it is important since they are mimicking real human life and profiting from the resemblance. Alright, so limits can be good. So not all media is bad. Some can be good. And we also need to have limits. So the next thing is that the limits our bodies impose on our time, our relationships, and everything else can be good. So when we have limits, that is a good thing. Sometimes we need to put limits. So those limits are not always obstacles, but we should strive to overcome with technology. So in a sense, warning us that clearer than ever. So the warning signs are clearer than ever. So try as we might, we can't conduct our friendships exclusively over screens. So if we have friendships, it can't just be over a screen. That's not a friendship. So physical presence is required at some point. So if you have a friend, maybe you might start on screens, but eventually you have to be present because that's going to be required at some point. So the idea of living out a marriage online is absurd. So bodily presence is non-negotiable in a relationship. And periods when couples resort to the telephone are always marked by expressions of eagerness to be back together in a person. So let's see. So Christianity is a physical religion involving sacraments, face-to-face fellowship, and the participation in worship in word and physical spaces. So converts are baptized in real water, communed with real bread and wine, and welcomed into a real local body of believers. It has always been so, and it demanded Christianity. These inheritance is to demand it to become a fundamentally different, less embodied religion. So screens also have a strong secularizing, screens also have a strong influence, as they are with memories of profound events and deep associations with the commercial and entertainment. So our bodies limit us when it comes to honoring God, and that was deliberate on God's part. We should not seek to overcome his design. All right, so practical applications. So these are practical applications so you can be less distracted. So number one, realize what's happening to you. So you no longer need a good book which he really likes to keep him from his prayers or his work or his sleep. So that's just a story. So warnings are more applicable to negative effects of internet video in our time. So especially the kind of video that lacks even the entertainment value critiqued, even the entertainment value. So when you get right down to it, scrolling isn't that fun. It's just something to do. Something that triggers enough of a dopamine to keep us coming back time and again. So scrolling scrolling is just nonsense. It's just something to do to waste our time. But that is the whole point, because the dopamine gets in us to keep watching and keep watching and keep watching. So that's why the first principle application of our case study is when we're mindlessly going through short videos, we should stop and realize what's happening to us in a rare moment of optimism. So let's see. So no medium is excessively dangerous if its user understands what its dangers are. So that is true in our time. So no medium is dangerous, but if you don't understand what its dangers are, then it's dangerous, or you don't look out what they are. Because watching a television while knowing that it is a resonating the world makes the television significantly less harmful. So in the same way, being conscious of the dangers of media. So we need to be conscious of the dangers of media. So it's okay to use media for whatever you need, but we need to be conscious and realize what the dangers are. So another one, ask good questions. So the next step is to fight nothing with nothing. So it's impossible to wrestle anyone from the grip of the culture without a more life-giving alternative. So we need to pursue something of substance that satisfies the created needs. Scrolling videos can only something, and I don't know. So we must think carefully about why we find certain distractions addictive and cultivate in their place solid gifts with which God has filled his world. So as we consume a video in today's world, we might ask a question like that, or like these: why am I actually enjoying mindless scrolling? So just a couple of questions. I'll probably put these questions on the video at the end. So number 3, redeem the medium. So the last question is important in the light of Christian efforts over the years to teach using screens. So redeem the medium. So using medium to reach is, we have to use our screens to preach, to write stuff down, all those things. So number 4, see screens as symbols. So our struggle against distraction requires a willingness to use symbols well and not to mistake them for the realities they symbolize. And again, so our struggle against distraction requires a willingness to use symbols well and not to mistake them for the realities they symbolize. So last point here, then I'm done. So eyes made for more than reading. So video, like all other forms, are the new medium, is a symbol. So videos of the forms of medium, long or short, are a symbol, a way of cultivating, or not creativity, not cultivating, a way of creativity, I don't know, resisting the world to the extent it distracts us from that world and the God who made us to behold it. We should treat it with caution. But our eyes were made for more than just reading, and to deny the validity of perceiving goodness, truth, is to deny the goodness of our createdness by God's design. Yeah, so that's about it. Yeah, so media is not good or bad. It just depends how you use it, and just remember how to use it right and be cautious about it and what you do with it. And God is good all the time. And I'm out.